2. Have you ever wondered what happens to that delicious meal you just ate? Where does it go, and how does your body turn it into energy? Today, we're re-embarking on an incredible journey through one of the most amazing systems in the human body, the digestive system. Get ready to explore the winding path your food takes, from the very first bite to the final exit. It's a complex and fascinating process that keeps us alive and kicking, and we're going to break it all down, step by step. Our journey begins right here, in the mouth, or as scientists call it, the oral cavity. This, where digestion officially kicks off. The moment you take a bite, your teeth spring into action. These are the powerful grinders of our body, a process called mastication, or simply, chewing. Your incisors at the front cut the food, your canines tear it, and the premolars and molars at the back crush and grind it into smaller, more manageable pieces. This isn't just about making food easier to swallow. It's also about increasing the surface area for enzymes to work their magic. But your teeth don't work alone. As you chew, your salivary glands, located under your tongue and on the sides of your jaw, release saliva. You produce about 1 to 1.5 liters of this stuff every day. Saliva is more than just water. It contains special enzymes. The star player here is salivary amylase, which immediately starts breaking down complex carbohydrates, like the starches in bread or potatoes, into simpler sugars. Saliva also lubricates the food, forming it into a soft, round bundle called a bolus, making it easy to swallow. Plus, your tongue plays a crucial role, moving the food around, mixing it with saliva, and finally, pushing the bolus to the back of your throat. Now, it's time for the next stage, swallowing, or deglutition. This seemingly simple action is actually a complex reflex. As the bolus moves to the back of your throat, a small flap of tissue called the epiglottis automatically closes over your windpipe, or trachea. This is a vital safety mechanism that prevents food from going down the wrong pipe and ensures it heads straight for the esophagus. The esophagus is a muscular tube, about 25 centimeters long, that connects your throat to your stomach. Your food doesn't just fall down the esophagus due to gravity. Instead, the walls of the esophagus contract in a wave-like motion called peristalsis. Imagine squeezing a tube of toothpaste from the top. That's essentially what your esophagus does. These powerful, rhythmic muscle contractions push the bolus downward, a journey that takes only about 7 to 10 seconds, delivering it safely to the entrance of the stomach. And now, we've arrived at the stomach, a J-shaped, muscular organ that acts as a temporary storage tank and a powerful mixing chamber. The stomach can hold about 1 to 1.5 liters of food and liquid. When the bolus arrives, it passes through a muscular valve called the lower esophageal sphincter, which opens to let food in and then closes tightly to prevent it from going back up. Inside the stomach, the real chemical breakdown begins. The walls of the stomach are lined with millions of gastric glands that secrete a potent mixture known as gastric juice. This juice is incredibly acidic, containing hydrochloric acid. This acid is so strong it could dissolve metal, but thankfully, your stomach is protected by a thick layer of mucus. The acid kills most of the harmful bacteria that may have entered with your food and creates the perfect environment for another key player. Pepsin is a powerful enzyme that specializes in breaking down proteins found in meat, eggs, and beans into smaller chains of amino acids called polypeptides. The stomach's strong muscular walls churn and mix the food with these juices, turning the solid bolus into a thick semi-liquid paste called chyme. This process can take anywhere from 2 to 6 hours, depending on what you've eaten. Once the chyme is ready, it's time to move on to the next and longest part of our journey. The small intestine, the stomach, releases the chyme in small squirts through another valve, the pyloric sphincter, into the first section of the small intestine, called the duodenum. The small intestine is anything but small in length. If you were to stretch it out, it would be about 6 to 7 meters long, all coiled up neatly in your abdomen. It's here in the small intestine that the most critical part of digestion and almost all nutrient absorption takes place. As the acidic chyme enters the duodenum, it triggers the release of hormones that signal to important accessory organs, the pancreas and the liver. The pancreas, located just behind the stomach, releases a cocktail of powerful digestive enzymes into the small intestine. These enzymes include pancreatic amylase, to continue breaking down carbohydrates, trypsin to further digest proteins, and lipase to tackle fats. The pancreas also secretes bicarbonate, an alkaline substance that neutralizes the strong stomach acid, creating a more suitable environment for these enzymes to work. Meanwhile, the liver, your body's largest internal organ, produces a greenish yellow liquid called bile. Bile is stored and concentrated in a small pouch underneath the liver called the gallbladder. When fats enter the small intestine, the gallbladder releases bile into the duodenum. Bile acts as an emulsifier, which means it breaks down large fat globules into smaller droplets. This is similar to how dish soap breaks up grease. This process dramatically increases the surface area of the fat, allowing the lipase enzymes to break it down much more effectively into fatty acids and glycerol. As the chyme, now mixed with pancreatic juices and bile, continues its journey through the next sections of the small intestine, the jejunum and the ileum, the breakdown of carbohydrates, proteins and fats is completed. Now, the main event can happen: absorption. The inner wall of the small intestine is not smooth. It's covered in millions of tiny, finger-like projections called villi, and these villi are covered in even smaller projections called This incredible design increases the surface area of the small intestine to about the size of a tennis court, maximizing its ability to absorb nutrients. The broken-down nutrients, simple sugars, amino acids, fatty acids, and glycerol, along with vitamins, minerals, and water, are absorbed through the walls of the small intestine directly into the bloodstream. The vast network of blood vessels within the villi collects these nutrients and transports them via the portal vein to the liver. The liver then processes these nutrients, detoxifies harmful substances, and releases the nutrients into the general circulation to be delivered to every cell in your body. This is how your food is transformed into the fuel your body needs for energy, growth, and repair. After traveling through the small intestine, a journey that can take 3 to 5 hours, most of the nutrients have been absorbed. What's left is mainly water, indigestible parts of food like fiber, and waste products. This mixture now moves into the final major organ of our digestive tours, the large intestine, also known as the colon. The large intestine is shorter but wider than the small intestine, measuring about 1.5 meters long. It frames the small intestine on 3 sides. Its main job is not digestion, but to absorb most of the remaining water from the indigestible food matter, making the waste more solid. This is a crucial step in conserving water for the body. The large intestine is also home to trillions of beneficial bacteria, collectively known as the gut microbiome. These bacteria are not harmful. In fact, they play a vital role. They help break down some of the remaining materials, like certain fibers, and they also synthesize essential vitamins, such as vitamin K and some B vitamins, which are then absorbed by the body. As the waste material moves slowly through the colon process, that can take 12 to 48 hours, it becomes more and more solid. This solidified waste, now called feces, is stored in the final section of the large intestine, the rectum. As the rectum fills, it stretches, sending a signal to the brain that it's time for elimination. 2. The waste then passes out of the body through the anus, completing the digestive process. And there you have it. From a simple bite to a complex series of mechanical and chemical transformations, the human digestive system is a masterpiece of biological engineering. It's a coordinated effort involving organs, muscles, nerves, hormones, and enzymes, all working in perfect harmony to nourish our bodies. So next time you enjoy a meal, take a moment to appreciate the incredible journey it's about to undertake. Taking care of this system, with a balanced diet rich in fiber, plenty of water, and regular exercise is one of the best things you can do for your overall health. Thanks for joining us on this fascinating tour of the digestive system. We hope you learned something new today. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more amazing journeys inside the human body. See you next time.